All right, let's just jump right in. There are some things in history that they grab you, right? And few objects do that quite like the Shroud of Turin. I mean, we're talking about a 14-foot-long piece of linen cloth that has this faint, almost ghostly image of a crucified man on it. It's absolutely captivating. And right away, it hits you with this huge, almost impossible question. Is this thing real? Is it the actual burial cloth of Jesus Christ? Or is it just one of the most incredible, most convincing fakes in all of human history? So you'd think this is an old debate, right? Well, in 2025, it has just completely blown up all over again. You've got these brand new, cutting-edge scientific claims coming out, you've got it going viral on social media, and to top it all off, the Vatican has announced this huge digital showcase for the upcoming Holy Year. So believe me, this isn't just some dusty old history lesson. It's a full-on modern battleground between faith, science, and, let's be honest, a little bit of spectacle. Okay, so let's break it down. First, let's look at the case for authenticity. What's the evidence that this thing is the real deal, a 2,000-year-old relic? For people who believe, the physical evidence right there on the cloth is, well, it's pretty stunning. We're talking about something like 370 scourge marks, from a Roman whip, and the details are just incredible. You can see puncture wounds around the scalp, like from a crown of thorns, and even a clear gash in the man's side. And here's the kicker for proponents. All of these injuries, they line up perfectly with what the Gospels describe happening at the crucifixion. But then they go even deeper, like down to the microscopic level. It's wild. Forensic analysts have found tiny traces of pollen from plants that only grow in the Middle East. They found limestone dust that's a chemical match for tombs right in Jerusalem. And on top of that, there's type AB human blood. So when you put all those little clues together, believers say, look, this points directly to 1st century Judea, not somewhere in medieval Europe. Okay, but the the absolute bombshell for this side of the argument just dropped in 2025. A new study comes out using this technique called wide-angle X-ray scattering, or WAX for short. Now, this is totally different from the old carbon-14 dating. Instead of looking at radioactive decay, it's actually analyzing how the linen fibers themselves have aged over time, on a molecular level. So it's a completely new way of asking the same question. And the result? Bam! This new analysis dates the cloth to about 2,000 years ago, right around the time of Christ. That is a direct challenge to everything we thought we knew. But wait a minute. Not so fast. Let's flip the coin and look at the other side of this. Because there is a very, very powerful case to be made that the shroud is nothing more than an ingenious medieval forgery. And really, at the heart of the skeptic's argument is a scientific method we've all heard of, carbon-14 dating. It's the standard way we figure out how old something organic is by measuring the decay of radioactive carbon inside it. And here's the thing, this isn't a new idea. Back in 1988, 3 totally separate, top-tier labs all ran carbon-14 tests on samples from the shroud. And the results? They were unanimous. And for a lot of people, they were damning. All 3 labs placed the cloth's origin smack dab in the Middle Ages, somewhere between 1260 and 1390. And this is maybe the biggest historical problem for believers. There's this massive 1,300-year gap where the shroud is just gone. It's a silent history. If it's real, where was it for more than 1,000 years? We have no reliable records, nothing, until it just suddenly pops up in a small town in France in the 1350s. That's a huge question mark. And get this, to add even more fuel to the fire, a treatise from the exact same time period was just uncovered, and in it, a French philosopher straight up calls the shroud a painted fake. So even people back then, when it first appeared, were looking at it and saying, nope, this is a fraud. So that's where we land today. It is a total head-to-head scientific showdown. You've got the brand new wax analysis saying, hey, this cloth is ancient, and that 1988 test was messed up by contamination from repairs. But then you have the carbon-14 test, which for decades has been the gold standard, saying it's medieval. It's a direct clash between 2 powerful scientific claims telling 2 completely different stories. And you know where this fight is really happening now? It's not just in labs or old books. It's playing out in real time, right in the messy, chaotic world of social media. Jump on a platform like X, and on one side, you'll see these traditionalist accounts sharing these incredible 3D reconstructions of the face. For them, it's definitive, it's emotional, it's proof. They're saying this is the face of God. The conviction is just absolute. And then you flip over to the other side. You'll find a historian on TikTok just flatly dismissing it. They'll point to the carbon dating, the historical gap, and basically say the science is settled. They'll even call believing in it moronic. The certainty on that side is just as fierce. You know, when you take a step back from all the noise, this whole debate over the shroud starts to feel like a perfect little snapshot of the world we live in right now. It's this microcosm of a post-truth era, where what counts as evidence, what we choose to believe, truth itself, it all feels like it's up for grabs. I mean, think about it. This ancient mystery is forcing us to deal with a really modern problem. We live in an age of AI deepfakes and just so much misinformation. So what does real proof even mean anymore? And when you have two different scientific tests that completely contradict each other, how do you decide which one to believe? And maybe more importantly, why do you pick one over the other? And that really brings us to the biggest question of all, doesn't it? The Vatican's about to blast this image out to millions of people for the whole year, and it leaves us wondering, what's the real point here? Are we ever going to find that one piece of irrefutable proof that settles it for everyone? Or is the true power of the shroud found in the mystery itself? I mean, maybe its value is that it forces science and faith to talk to each other, and it lets us hold on to a sense of wonder, even while we have our doubts. Whether it's a miracle or a masterpiece, one thing is for sure, the mystery of the Shroud of Turin isn't going away anytime soon.